Hey everyone, Wonton here, back to bring you another One Piece tournament match. This time we're back in the finals and we're reenacting the Dressrosa arc between Law and Doflamingo. I won the high roll, so I chose to go second because I'm not trying to rush him down or anything. This is a very board-centric matchup, and so I'm just trying to outvalue him by getting that extra card. So this is a matchup that heavily favors Law already, and on top of that, I drew very well. I think almost perfectly actually here. So the deck was stacked against him already, but you can't underestimate Doflamingo since it is still a very strong deck when piloted well. And so one of the things I look for in this matchup is Otama and Vista, because that does help clear out a lot of his characters, especially early to mid game. And I saw both of them in the starting hand, so I decided to keep it. And so here it was a clean play, just get rid of his one character, establish a strong board early. We already have 4 cards on the board, and it's only turn 2. And another problem that Blue has is, as you can see, he'll bounce back Teach, but that just gives us another opportunity to play Vista. They establish tempo by bouncing back characters, but it doesn't help so much against Law because that's typically what we're trying to do anyways. So turn 3 is where Law starts picking up steam, when you can fill out the board like this, and you're able to just cheat out your bigger 5 cost cards for only 2 Dawn using your leader ability. And we bounce back Otama here instead of Nami, just so that we can use her ability again later. Drake is a card I see in 50% of Law decks, and I personally like running him for the green, blue, and red matchup. I think that you can get a lot of value out of him, and on top of that, he is a supernova, and he's a 6,000 power character too. So you can restand him and swing twice with the restand law. So now that we've established board control, we have 5 to his 0, and we have a 6,000 power on the board. We do want to try to just maintain this board control here. Just slowly choke him out. No need to play fast. We're not trying to rush him down or anything. So he bounces back Drake, and again, that just means we can use Drake again later. And we're gonna try to go a little bit slow here, maintain our board control, and just control his board as well. We're going to use that Otama again and the Jet Pistol away the Doflamingo. And when Blue doesn't establish those big 7,000 bodies or 9,000 Mihawks, it is really hard for them in this matchup. So we're going to tap Bonnie here before we use the leader ability to play Law and bounce back Bonnie to protect her, and drop in a Zoro just to start pressuring his life a little bit more. It also tripped me out a little bit, but that is 2 Dawn active I still have. It tripped me out for a while because I thought I had 1 Dawn and I cheated. It's just one is right underneath that one. So I wanted to start pressuring his life a little bit with the Zoro, with the extra attack from Rush Zoro, as well as try to make him use up some of the cards in his hand, just to, as I was saying, just slowly suffocate him. Here he needs to think hard about if he wants to take more damage or he needs to use up a card to defend himself, because if he keeps using cards in his hand, it's pretty hard for him to come back. But at the same time, he is getting a little bit low if he keeps taking damage this early into the game. So he plays Mori here, brings back a Teach into his hand and replays that Teach. He has no more active Dawn, and so we're just gonna protect that Zoro using Law. There's no threat of him attaching a bunch of Dawn and swinging hard at Law. I use Bonnie as the counter here to protect Law, just because I don't see myself using Bonnie anytime soon, since we are in the middle of the game now. We've gotten a lot of value out of our cards, and so I think we're just gonna focus on the board here rather than generate some additional value using Bonnie. So again, no need to rush. He's gonna keep chipping away at his life or hit the cards in his hand with 5k attacks. No need to swing big here. And the plan here is to reuse Vista, and so we're gonna swing with him first, get some value out of him by getting an attack in. Yeah, and you see we got more value out of Otama. This is the third time we've used Otama to help clear the board now. And this is just the same Otama and the same Vista, just cycling in and out of the hand, just clearing his board. And just maximizing our board here using Nami to swing in. It's unlikely he'll swing at Nami anyways, and if it does, we're fine with that. Just get a little bit of value out of Nami here. So one of the strengths of blue, both in Vankov and Doflamingo, is that they're able to just spawn boards out of nowhere. Especially Doflamingo, where you can, when you pair him up with rearrangers like the 3-cost blocker Doffy or Perona, where they can just use their leader ability to maintain the cards in their hand while generating a board off the top of their deck. So that's what he does here. And this is why you can't underestimate Doflamingo players, because last turn he only had one card on the board. Suddenly this turn he just has a full board of 4 fairly meaty characters. So you can never let your guard down. So going into this turn, we're just going to continue the same game plan we've been following the whole game, where we're just going to focus on his board and not care about his life. I think it's a little bit risky going for life right now. He still has 3 cards in hand, and who knows what he'll get off of those 2 lives too. Maybe more counters and maybe a trigger. So here we're going to use Vista to swing into Teach. I figured it's unlikely he will try to defend Teach here, just because he is low on cards and life. And so again, we're gonna use the same Otama and then just bounce back Vista to be used later. We're gonna use Drake to pop the Kuma. At this point, we don't really care if a Pacifista comes out or not, just because we're gonna try to go for game next turn. And so we'd rather just have a Pacifista out anyways rather than another blocker. Then we get rid of Otama because, as I was saying, we probably don't need to use her anymore. The game is probably going to end soon. And so we just replace her with Vista just to get rid of the Moria. And then now we just start slowly swinging at face again. No need to swing with blocker laws here, just play it safe and make sure that he can't somehow end us using some of the cards in his hand. Since he has run out of resources more or less and that he's down to 1 life, I figured next turn is probably the best time to end. And so we're going to defend Zoro pretty aggressively for this first swing, but we'll let him go on the second swing. We just want to make him use up more attacks to get rid of him and more Dawn. And Zoro is something that he does have to get rid of. So going to the last turn, let's assess the situation a little bit here. He has 2 blockers up, 1 life, and 1 card in hand. So we know that he can eat up a maximum of 3 attacks before dying. And because he only has 1 card in hand, the most he can counter is a 6,000 attack. So we're gonna swing with 7 first to either force him to eat up an attack with his life or to block it with a blocker. And he chooses to take a life here, because he knows these attacks are coming anyways, and maybe this can help him counter out one of the attacks. And when they have a blocker or a life up, you never want to over attach Dawn to your swings, just because you don't want them to get value out of eating one of your attacks. You want to be Dawn efficient here. And so we're going to swing 7 again, because 7 will force out both cards in hand if he does have the counters for it, or he has to eat up a blocker. So we're just going to slowly go 7, and this last attack got rid of the last blocker, so we're just going to go all in now with the last attack. He did have 3,000 counter in hand, so he could have countered out one of the 7Ks, but it wouldn't have mattered just because we still had all that extra Dawn, and we still had a Vista that was able to swing. So thanks for watching, guys. This was another local tournament win, this time brought to you by Otama and Vista. And so, as usual, I'll post my deck list into the description down below, and if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.